So, hey guys, I'm back. I told y'all I would be back, and even after this, I'm gonna keep coming until my story is done. Um, I just wanna get right into it, but before I do that, I wanna let you guys know that the previous video I was supposed to put in that video that I'm not doing this for clout, and I'm not trying to bring down anyone or bash anyone out of spite or any of that sort, but I'm just doing this so I can be healed and that I can move on with my life after, and that you guys can see some of what I've been through, you know. So let's get right into it. Where I left off was, or the first thing I talked about was my first experience with the vacuum. So the next one is school. Going to school was another crazy episode. Like, for example, um, the lady who adopted me here, she would giving me money would be an issue. For example, if she give me $5 Canadian or 10, she would take it back and be like, "Oh, this is a lot of money in Jamaican currency. You don't need that much for school." I would still be satisfied and I'd still be like whatever, but sometimes I can't even find fear to or from school because that would probably be one of her way to punish me, I guess, or I'm not sure. Um, my adopted brother, which is her son, lived in the same house. Obviously, we go to the same school. It's been his school like long before me. You know, I just came from Jamaica and actually joined him going to that school. He drived and sometime he would take me to school. I could count like like not all the time. He'd take me to school. And I remember one day he stopped and he was like, "Get out of my car." That was in the middle of winter. And I'm like, "Why?" And he's like, "Get out of my car." I don't know I don't remember how it started, but obviously I was defending myself. Yes, I have a sometimes I can be feisty, but only in retaliation mode. So he would be like, and it's not the first he did it. Like sometimes he'd be like, "Get out of my car." Um, if you close his car door and it closed a little bit too hard, "Get out of my car." Um, take the cab, and I'm like, "You don't see it's cold?" And he's like, "I don't care." And I'm like, "I'm not coming out. Like, you offered me the ride in the first place. Call the cops. I'm not coming out in the cold." Anyways, I would still sit down in there, drive to school. We get into a fight on our way, like arguing. When I reach school, I tell myself, "You know what? I'm not going back with him. Like, this is it. Like, why would he be doing that?" Sometimes when I don't have lunch or I didn't get any money, I would see him eating like see him with a box of pizza. Oftentimes someone would be like, "Hey, I just passed your brother eating a box of pizza and you said you don't have any money or you don't have no food." And I'm like, they're like, "Why don't you go ask him?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not. If I didn't get it in the first place from home, I'm not gonna ask him nothing, because he's very rude, and I don't want a big argument at school, so I rather just do it out." And sometimes my friends would buy me lunch, or you know and then it reached to a point where this lady would come early sometime to pick me up from school. And I remember one day she came, and even that same son was like, "Why are you coming for her?" Because I think I was supposed to. He promised to take me home that day, even though I said I wasn't gonna go with him because I had no choice, I have no money. But the lady came and she's like, "Oh, I have visitors coming over. You need to help me get the table set. You need to help me clean the house. You need to do this, and I need you to come now." And the son was pulling me, one pulling this arm, the other pulling this arm. You gotta go on excitement like that. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go because if I don't go, I'm gonna be in big trouble when I reach home. And then when she picked me up in the car and we drove off, she's like, "Oh, stop listening to him, and you putting up a fight not to come home, and you know you have to do these things." Anyways, I would go home, do whatever, and just say, you know what, whatever. It reached to a point where when I reached to school, I would tell this guy, "Hey, wake me up when class is done." And he's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "I'm really tired." And then I would open up and tell him a little bit of what's going on till it reached to the point where at one point the teachers must have called her. That's what she told me. And some social worker was going to get involved. Or I don't remember if they were involved. And I had to go back to school the next day and pretend as if, oh, it's just me. And, just to take all of that eat off her, because I was asking the friends, what is the social worker, what, and they're telling me, oh, they can take you away from the family and stuff like that. um when I realized I wasn't getting money and stuff, I used to go, there's a plaza across from the street from the school. I used to go by there, and then I walked into this hair salon one day and I met this lady because they sell hair in there and stuff. But I met this one hairdresser that she does hair, and she's very friendly. She's like a sister to me, you know. Until this day we talk. Maybe not every day and stuff like that because I move, but she's very nice. And I would open up to her. I just started telling people, and then she let me. I told her what I could do. So like if she have a weave, I would braid the hair for her, or she'd teach me how to mix the color, or if she's gonna like dye someone hair or whatever. And she started paying me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is how I start making my money, but I couldn't let the lady know until she's like, oh, it would be good if you could come weekends too. So I find a way to tell the lady that brought me to Canada. I find a way to tell her that, oh, someone to ask me if I could come on the weekend. I met this lady to do here because, oh, I met her. I normally go across the street to go buy lunch sometimes. So that's how I met her. And my aunt is like surprisingly, yes, you could go. And I'm like, okay. So I went not knowing that she have greater plans to take the money whenever she pay me. And after a while I'm like, I'm not gonna do this. What's the point of me doing it and she's taking the money? This doesn't make any sense. Every money I work, she's like, oh, I have to pay to get you here, so any money you work, it belongs to me. All right. It reached to our next point where her husband worked out of town, which is my adopted dad. So he can't come and say I'm lying because he doesn't know half of what happened because most of the time he's out of town. And if he comes like once every 2 weeks or once in a while or so often, I remember one time he came and he gave me $100. And as soon as the lady left, because he's like, oh, this is towards your school lunch next week or whatever. As soon as, or whatever you want to do, as soon as he left back to go to work, the lady took the money. Oh, why are you getting so much money? And don't you dare tell him what's going on or what happened, and or that I took this money. And I had to be mute. So whenever he called and he'd ask to say hi to me, oh, is everything at home? And I have to be basically lie because the lady's either pick up the next phone listening or she's looking at me like with this look like you better watch what you're saying. So I've been through so much that I was going through a lot of anxiety, and I was depressed to be honest because I never did this lady anything, and then I would be going from cousins or aunt to aunt house braiding their hair every time, and every time I leave the house she'd be like, oh, She'd call them, Kim didn't do this, Kim didn't clean her room, Kim didn't do that. And then their same one would be like, why is she like that? We all put money together to get you here. Why is she acting like that? So I'm like, I start saying, oh, this is a slave thing. Everybody put up their money to take me here to slave me out. A lot of people, especially family member, or people in general, they are hypocrites. Like, cause right now I know if they see this video, and I know you guys are watching me. You guys always up in my life, like you guys always watching me. And I just want to let them know that you guys are very wicked. Because, and the funniest thing, some of you guys don't even know I have you guys recorded. I have about 10 to 15 books of story on you guys. But I'm going to give some of it. I'm going to pour it out because it's crazy the way how you guys deal with me for no reason. Like I'll be from one auntie house to the next. Either I'm helping them watch their kids, they know who I'm talking, they know themselves, or I'm braiding their hair or something. And if I leave to one aunt house, as soon as I reach the next aunt house, here comes the auntie calling. Oh, you know, Kim didn't do her work. Kim didn't clean up the house. Kim didn't do this. And the aunt would be like, why every time you come here, she's complaining. That sister of mine is complaining. Why every time she's complaining? Like, and I'm like, I had to take her at the house one day when the ladies at work and show her, see, my room is clean. Everything that she's talking about is clean. That's just her. And then that aunt now would act as if she never seen nothing like that. Or everybody just take their self out of the argument, like all who have an input or a say, like they talk behind their one another back, and then when it comes down to the nitty gritty, like everybody just mute and leave me alone in the situation. School, going to school there, I don't think I was even finished that school. I did the work and everything. All I was supposed to do was take it to school. My last final schoolwork. And I told myself I'm not doing it. And I told the teachers why. And they're like, just do it and get your grade 12 over here. And I'm like, I'm not doing it. I made up my mind that I wasn't going to do it because the things I'm going through. You know, at one point, my stepbrother gave me a phone, my first phone, and I had to hide it. I couldn't let this lady know that I have a phone, or else I'd be in trouble. One day she came into my room, and I don't remember what happened or what, but she came in there and she was questioning me if I was whatever active and looking up underneath me. And the phone was under my pillow because I guess she wanted to check if I was a virgin or not. The phone was underneath my pillow. And she was like, the phone vibrate. Like, I think it was not, it was vibrating, so you could hear that vibration on the bed. And she was like, what's that? And I'm like, oh my gosh, no. Where's my coffin? I'm saying that in my head. Where's my casket? Because this is it now. And then I'm like, oh, I have a phone. And she's like, you have a phone? And she colored me up. What are you doing with a phone? Blah, blah, blah. Number one, when I came to Canada, she told me I wasn't allowed to help my siblings. I wasn't allowed to talk to them. I wasn't talking to none of them for years. I didn't know where none of them were. I was monitored 24/7. So back to where I'm talking about the phone. She took the phone and she's like, oh, you and your stepbrother together. Maybe he's even sleeping with you. See, it's a good thing why I'm in here checking and talking to you. What a coincidence. And she was accusing me. And I'm like, is this lady for real? But I'm just saying that in my head because you know, some strict family, you can't talk out loud, you can't voice your opinion. That's her. Anyway, she started threatening me to send me back to Jamaica. And why I was traumatized too, the most, is that in her closet, all my mom's stuff would be in there. This lady literally went to Jamaica and my mom passed away. And she took back all my mom belongings in her room, knowing that my mom have sister back home and my mom have a mother. They didn't get nothing. This lady took everything, even my mom wedding ring. I believe I should get it because my mom dreamed to me and tell me already to tell my siblings to go get a ring. My mom name is engraved in there, but now I put it together and realize my dad is a surrogate, like a sperm surrogate or something like that. He get these kids on behalf of his bully sisters. Cause it could never be I could never be his child. Because if they say don't talk to me, he can't talk to me. Period. So any decision to make with his kids, they step forward. It's like he doesn't have a say. So that's why I'm saying he must have been a surrogate in the male version or something. Cause how dare you have your kids? And every time they don't, number one, they don't like none of my dad kids. Period. This lady would talk when I ask her, why can't I go see my dad the first time I came here, the first night? Oh, he didn't take you here. I'm now your legal mom. He didn't put up no money. He has no rights over you. He can't do nothing. Any decision it's with you, they have to go through me. But at the same time, she's arguing, how comes your dad can't help with your basic needs? So she pushed me to go get a job. My first job was at Chili's Texas Grill. I believe it was her son who got me the job because her son knew the manager. With that job, every time I work, I have to give the lady my pay. At, at one point in time, she's like, give me the bank card. So I have to give her the bank card. I'll be working and I don't know where the pay at. I don't know all I know, I'm just working. Like modern day slave, like not even modern day, like back in the day slavery. That's all I'm doing. Work, work, work. And she's collecting the money. And I'm like, this is crazy. Until one day, something must have happened at the job and they miss. How should I say no? They thought it was me and it wasn't me. And I said, you know what? I don't want to go back there no more. And I quit. And me quitting, it was a big problem. Oh, you quit? Every little thing, I'm gonna send you back to Jamaica. From the first day I got here, she makes sure as I got off the plane, give me the paper that the government gave you, the embassy or the whatever, my landed documents. Give me this, give me that. It's one day I had to hide and took my permanent resident card and I leave it at school, and one day she must have missed it and said, where's it? And I'm like, I don't know. I keep it at school. And as I go on through with the story, you guys will hear about that because that was an next disaster. But she would be like, oh, I send you to work, you have to go to work, blah, blah. Come again, she go find me a next work at an hospital where I'm cleaning like 35 or 30 something room per day. Everyone in the hospital was like, that I work with the other housekeeper. Everyone was like, some of the rooms I go into, I heard the doctor saying to the patient, so how did you get whatever HIV, whatever? I dropped them up and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I was in fear of my life because I'm like, I don't want to go into this room, but I can't quit. And these people at the hospital was like, you should be still in school, you're young, what are you doing here? The co-workers were, and then I stopped collecting my pay. because I realized the pay is not going to me. She took the pay and said, look, over $10,000 I pay for you to come to Canada and you have to pay it back. So I leave like all three, four checks there till they're wondering how comes I'm not collecting my pay. And I'm like, I don't need it. I'm saying to myself, because I'm not the one who's going to get it anyways. This lady's going to take the money. This is so funny. So yeah, why would I want to collect my pay if I'm not getting nothing? And the reason why I didn't want to collect it is I don't see where it makes sense for me to be working and I'm not getting to see my money. It feels like I'm slaving myself out. Anyways, when she realized I wasn't collecting my pay regularly, she started getting mad and upset because at that time I think I was getting check. And then she went and got the bank account and she's like, oh, let they put deposit in there. And one day I even changed my pin and she was pissed off. Like, and I'm like, okay, how can I go about this? So me and the other workers, like when on our lunchtime, I would sit down with them, like the older ladies, and start telling them what I was going through. Because sometimes I couldn't manage those heavy maps, and they start teach me the tricks and the trade to always come early to grab the lighter maps, because people always running to get the lighter maps. Because if I don't get those, it's gonna be heavy and it's gonna be hard. And sometime one of this lady, she know herself, she would come, our kids them, I haven't checked up on her for a long time because I lost all numbers and stuff. But God forbid she was way up in age, and she used to go to Jamaica and bring me back stuff. God bless her soul. Hopefully she's still alive. God forbid. But she was a nice lady. So most of them will work on that ward or work and at that same hospital that me and them are friends with discuss the situation and stuff. So one day, the lady who took me here, she got a next lady who is either an in-law of the family or a friend of the family. She got that person at work, and then to work there, and then the lady so happened to be working on the same ward, not the same ward, but she so happened to be working there. She got the job, and I realized this lady was a news carrier. Anything I do, she go home and tell the lady. And then I would go back to work and tell them. So now everybody's watching her. Everybody at lunchtime, everybody sit down. Nobody wants to sit beside that woman because everybody basically see the pain in my eyes and see what I'm going through. And they're like, this is crazy. Like, are you serious? We don't even want to talk to this woman because this woman should know better to at least put the lady who took you here in her place to say, yo, this is not right. Anyways, I stopped talking to the lady. We live in the same house. She go tell my aunt start arguing with me. Why aren't you talking to this lady? Actually, yeah, the lady who adopted me here is my dad's sister. Why can't you why you don't take the bus home with the lady? Why you don't do this? Why you don't do that? I always tell her I don't see the woman, or even when I do, because I already know this lady is a plant. She's a mole. She's there to watch me. Until it so happened that that same lady lost her job, and I'm like, thank God, because I pray on it every day. I cry. I pray. I said, please, God, let her lose her job. Please. Anyways, it happened that she told me, I don't remember what happened she said I need a new bedroom set. So she went and bought a second-hand bed. I can't remember, but I'm going to search through my books or my notes because I write down everything. She said she's going to buy me a second-hand bed. We went and bought the bed, must from one of her friends, out of my pay. I have to turn around and start renting the bed, pay her money per month to sleep on the same bed that my money bought, a second-hand bed at that. Until this day, the bed probably still in her room. It's a dark, it's a chocolate, what color do you call this? It's a dark brown. Dark brown? That color that looking like black, close to black, but it's brown. A chocolate color. That's the color of the bedroom set. So anyone who is sleeping on it right now, if it's still in her house, just know that that bed belongs to me. Anyways, I have to be paying her for the bed. Then she said I have to be paying her for this. Every little thing I use, I have to be paying her for that. At one point, she's like, "You're not allowed to wash your underwear in my machine." And mind you, when I take my underwear off, I washed it. I wouldn't just throw it and then I put it in the dirty laundry when it's time to do my laundry, and I put everything in there. And she's like, "Oh, you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to wash your underwear in my machine because my husband is." And I'm like, "Okay, fine, like, you know." So I start washing them, putting up in my, when I wash them, I don't, when they're dry, I don't even bother put them in the machine no more. I just put them in my jar when they're dry, and I just wear them after. So I start washing them and leave them in the washroom because that washroom, she said, belongs to me, in that bathroom. So I start wash them, hang them up in there. Sometimes she come and use the washroom. Then I see her husband use it odd times, like not all the time. She's like, "Oh, you gotta stop hanging up your panties and put them in the bathroom." Like my husband used that washroom now, and she have a bathroom in her room. So I'm like, okay, everything I do, she's uncomfortable. So I start washing them, put in my room now. She's like, "Oh, you're trying to make the house smell. Like, don't you know that wet stuff will make your house smell?" So I'm like, God. I start crying for my mom. I said, "What did I do to deserve this? Where am I supposed to put?" Because if I don't wash it now, she's going to argue. So I said, "Okay, I'm not going to wash it and see what she's going to see." "Oh, you know how much video I took? And I'm gonna bring it to Jamaica and show everybody how nasty you are and how much underwear you have piled up in the room and this and that." And I'm like, I honestly don't know what else to do. Some point I feel like just, I don't even want to say what I feel like doing. And I'm like, God, why? This lady promised my mom that she was gonna be there for me before my mom passed away. She promised my mom so much. To this point, I'm wondering if she's the one who take my mom life spiritually, because these people, they love cemetery. Like, they could go to Jamaica 50 times in a month. 50 times in a month, they're going to the cemetery. And people from that community saw them before digging dirt at how much o'clock per night. So those people are people of high places. I'm dealing with spiritual fight. And these people, they always looking for people to side with them. So they will help people from the community, bring them to Canada. And mind you, everybody that they help and bring to Canada, I know those people crucify me with them. But watch, they're gonna see what I went through. Cause a lot of them that come here that I told before what's gonna happen, they go back, they side with them. Now they're saying Kim was true, Kim was telling the truth. Like, I still don't want to talk to you guys because you guys go against me, and know you guys feel it for yourself. That these people are not no normal people. When these people help you, they believe until your last breath. They own you. It's like you sell your soul to these people. They won't stop at no cost. Like, if you're gonna help someone, help them with a willing heart. You don't have to keep throwing it in their face or, "Oh, I'm the one who let you come here." If I'm not the only one they helped, and I'm not the first one they help, and everyone leave. But I find the courage because I know God is with me, and my mom dreamed to me before and tell me to speak up. Because they like to form circles and they like to let you take the blame. Okay, yes, I did it. My mom said no more. Speak up. In a dream, my mom dreamed to me, and that's why I'm more vocal now. Ain't nobody gonna call me down anymore and tell me don't talk. Right now, I'm talking and I'm feeling like 5 pounds is going. That's 5 pounds of burdens, and I have 95,000 more pound left. A lot. I've been through a lot.